Let's talk about what we're really trying to do here. You think if we move some of these ships through the Panama Canal that you can offload them in Florida and use the money to move it from the congestion on the West Coast, and this would work immediately, and you don't even need new funds? This is in the CARES Act.
That's correct. There's excess CARES Act money that's not being used both at the state level and also at the federal level, and so we could use that excess CARES Act money that's not being used, that we can offset the cost of those ships going through the Panama Canal, get to the East Coast where there's capacity. Right now, ships are waiting about 40 days on the West Coast. We can probably, cut that down by 30 days. In other words, we can get goods into the hands of Americans here 30 days faster and get those ships going back, to about their business. Right now, it costs about $100,000 a day to operate those ships, so they're losing about $4 million just sitting off the coast of California. We have the capacity on the East Coast, and so this bill allows for those ships that had previous commitments to be on the West Coast. They have to prove that. They cannot be Chinese-owned in any way, shape, or form, or subsidiary of Chinese-owned firms to be eligible to get this money. But we can move those goods a lot faster if they just come on through to the East Coast, where we have the capacity, we have the truckers, we have the, a lot of those ports already tied to rail lines, so we can get those goods to in American hands a lot faster that way.
People don't realize that all those ships that are out there, there's containers that aren't being used, and we don't have an endless supply of containers either. So that's part of the problem too. It would free up a lot of containers, which could be used in many different settings.
Right. You can use those containers to load them with American goods and ship them off, overseas where people are needing American goods. And so we need to speed up the supply chain. This is not the solution. It's just a solution. There are other issues concerning the supply chain that we need to tackle, but this is one of them, and we can see it. It's a very obvious problem that we see off the coast of California with ship after ship after ship just docked there waiting to get offloaded. And there's just not enough capacity there to do it as quickly as they can do it on the East Coast.
Hey, Congressman, you've been an outspoken advocate. I don't know if we should call it an advocate. You've been outspoken against vaccine mandates across the board. And I wanted to sort of understand your thinking about that, especially given the fact that we're trying to get our economy up and running. And as we have more and more, we keep hearing about either new variants or whatnot. Clearly, the science would suggest the only way we are ever going to solve this is to get people vaccinated.
Look, I'm not anti-vaccination. I've been vaccinated. I've had COVID. I got monoclonal antibody treatment. I've been vaccinated 3 times. I've had the booster. I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm anti-vaccine mandate. I believe in individual freedom, and that also the bond between a patient and their doctor is something which is sacred. And so that's what I've been saying, that the vaccine mandate I don't believe is right, but I do encourage people to vaccinate. I think that our state of Florida is a great example.
But Congressman, what about the cost to the system? What about the cost to the system? Because the flip side is we, meaning those of us who are vaccinated, are ultimately going to be paying for everybody else who isn't vaccinated. And I can't imagine that's something you would support.
No, listen, I do support it because when you look at the state of Florida, people have criticized, Governor DeSantis for all the work that he's done in the state of Florida, and yet we lead the nation. We're back to a very low infection rate in the state of Florida. He's following the data.
Today,
he's not
Congressman,
he follows
that's today,
the science.
after you led the nation in deaths
He's
for
following
several
the
months.
science. Look, he's following the science, not the political science, okay? And so that's the problem here. And so he follows the data, and we've been very, very successful. Our economy is up and running, and our infection rates are low. And so, the proof is in the pudding.
But hold on. But Congressman, I'm going to push back on that. The proof is in the pudding. Today, the rates are low. The rates are low because you had a spike several months ago, and there were a remarkable number of deaths. So you can't say, look, we're doing great now. I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Sure, of course it does. So it makes sense to me. It may not make sense to you, but it certainly makes sense to me. We're doing very well in the state of Florida, and that's why people are moving to the state of Florida, the free state of Florida, and that's what I support. Again, I'm not anti-vaccination. Like I said before, I'm vaccinated. My wife is vaccinated. Not at all, but I am against the vaccine mandate I think that's an intrusion on personal freedom. And we do live in the United States of America. That's why I came here, all right, from Cuba, all right, to have personal freedom.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.